Let them speak. Review hours 1 to 33. Please repeat or answer. Have you got any idea what it is that he's been looking at? Is it something he may be afraid of? Has he told the one that's driving to slow down so he can see what's happening there? He must be interested in seeing more of what he's noticed that seems strange. Have they got to be careful wherever they go since there's been a lot of fighting in that city? Doesn't he wish that the war was all over so he could go home to his family? Did he tell you how long it's been since he was last with them? Doesn't he tend to worry that his family is having a hard time living alone since he's been away for so long? Did he tell you that he tries not to worry about it so much? Does he look forward to going back to be with his family as soon as the war ends? Did he say that he wishes that he had the chance to speak with his family more? Is this what he unfortunately has to do until they manage to stop the war? There must have been a lot of fighting around there. Has everyone that used to live there ended up leaving now that it's too dangerous to live there? Has the public got to stay away from there as long as they keep fighting near there? Do the people doubt that the war will end soon so that they can finally go back home? Don't they wish that the war had ended a long time ago? Don't they hope that someone will be able to find a solution to stop all the madness? Did the people that used to live there tell you that there is no way that they could live there now? Do they hope that somehow the war ends and the killing stops? Have most of the people that used to live there become refugees in their own country? Did some of the people that escaped still not know where some of their own family wound up going? All they did was run away as soon as they started hearing people firing the guns. There was no point staying there after the fighting began. Does that older woman seem like she has been suffering a lot? Have the other two had to help her walk so that they could get away from where they were? Have they had a hard time consoling her after they fled their home? Don't they all wish that all of the people would stop fighting? Don't they feel it's not worth fighting because so many people have gotten hurt? Is where they're at now where they plan on staying for the night? Do they hope that there is some place that people have set up tents so that they don't have to sleep outside? Did they tell you that they didn't have time to bring anything valuable that they wish they could have brought? Did you ask them what it is that they wish they could have brought with them the most? Have they got any idea how long it will be before they'll get to go back home to live? Does it seem to them that no one is able to figure out how to stop the fighting that has been going on? All they can do is wait in a safe place until when someone can bring peace. Is what she's doing something that she does to help support her family? Did she tell you that most of the time that she's there, that she gets bored doing nothing? Does she ever remember at times since she was a kid that she didn't have to keep working to make money? Did she say that there are days when she doesn't manage to make enough money to buy something to eat? Can she figure out any way that will help her to make more money besides doing this kind of work? Has she had to work in the evenings too, ever since she first began doing this? How many days a month did she tell you that she had the chance to have a day off so that she could rest? Does she feel that she'll have to continue doing this as long as she doesn't have any other chances to make money? Do you have any idea if there is anyone else in her family that is making money to support everyone? What is it that she's interested in listening to on the radio while working? Is pop music the thing that she tends to listen to the most? Doesn't that help her to pass the time even when there are no customers who want her to fix things? Doesn't she wish that she had something else to do instead of having to do this? Doesn't she look lovely? Did she recognize who you were as soon as you walked up to her? Is she one of many refugees there that is waiting for someone to help them to find a place to live? Would she have left where she used to live with her family if there hadn't been a war? Have her parents been able to protect her even though they have been in a lot of danger? Now that she's where she is now, does she feel a bit safer? Did she tell you that she feels most worried about some of her friends that may still be where she grew up? She must miss all of them a lot. What is it that she wishes that she could have taken with her before leaving her home? Did she tell you how long it's been since she left there? Did her parents tell you that they should have left a lot earlier than they did? Do her parents feel that there is any way that they'll be able to return home to live normally again soon? Doesn't that little girl wish that all of this would have never happened? Is that how they finally figured out how to get her out of that place she was in? Does it appear that he couldn't have done that all by himself had he been alone? Did he tell you where he hoped to bring her now that he has helped to bring her out? Did you ask him if there was anyone else that was still back there that he would need to come back to help? Did you ask him how long it's been since he first began rescuing people like her? Did he say that he finds it hard to know how the war will finally end? All he can do now is try to help the ones that got hurt because of the fighting. All he wishes is that the war would end so that things could go back to normal. Did he tell you that he ended up sending his family to another part of the country so that they could be safe? Has he decided to stay around there as long as the war continues to go on around him? Is that something that you could have done if you had been there? I bet that they must be living in a refugee camp. That must be her son that is pushing what she's trying to move. What is it that she seems to be pulling? She must have been given those so that she could put them where she lives with her family. Isn't there anyone else that could come to help them pull that to where they have to go? Isn't it much too heavy for those two to pick up and carry it? Have they protected the mattresses they're moving with the big plastic bag that's covering it? Have you got any idea what all they have on top of the mattresses that they are in the middle of moving? Will all of that help them to live more comfortably than the way they're living now? Did you ask her if she had to buy all of that or if someone just gave it all to her? Are you used to giving money or things to people that are less fortunate than you are? Does the country you live in welcome refugees that have been forced to leave their own countries? What part of the world seems to have the most refugees these days? What type of weather do they seem to be having there? Is that how the weather is now where you are living? Does it appear that the children are taking care of the other children that are there? What is it that you think they would be looking forward to having the most? Did they tell you that they get bored a lot there since there is nothing to do? Do they say that they wish they had some kind of games that they could play more with each other? Is there anything that they can do to get out of the camp that they are living in? Have their parents told them that someday they'll be able to leave so that they can live a normal life again? Do they all say that they hope that that will happen soon? Is being in school one of the things that they miss the most while being there? Which one of them seems to be the youngest? What would you do if you saw your children having to suffer the way they're suffering? How did you happen to find her like that? All she felt like doing was crying. Did you ask her what happened to make her begin crying like that? Was she able to tell you how it is that you would be able to help her? Did she tell you how long she has been alone by herself like that? Did she say that as soon as she realized she couldn't find her family, that she started to feel really upset? Is there any place that you know that you can bring her so that she can help? Is there any place that you know that you can bring her so that she can get help? Did you ask her where was the last place that she saw her family before getting lost? Did you try to console her so that she would stop crying like that? Did you ask her if she could remember the last place that she was with her family? Did she say that she was afraid that her mom would be mad that she got lost? Did you tell her that that is something that she shouldn't worry about? Did you tell her that they would be more than happy to see that she was safe? Did you tell her that you would stay with her until they happened to find her family? Did what you were telling her seem to calm her down? They all must be near shore, since I see people standing in the water near the boat. The people that are still on the boat must be frightened to death that that boat is going to turn over. Are they all wearing life vests in case they wind up falling into the water? Are the people facing the boat in the water the people that came out to help them get to shore? They must be able to swim since they don't seem to need to wear life vests. I imagine that all of the people in the boat were scared to death at the time they took this photo. Do most of the people that are on the boat appear to be men fleeing from where they used to be living? Did they realize that they should all get out of the inside of the boat to make sure they wouldn't drown? If they had been able to swim, would they have already jumped into the water to try to get to shore? Were they all worried that they would die while crossing over in that boat they were on? What are the people going out in the water holding onto that rope for? Do you see the man lifting down the child from the side of the boat to the person wading in the water? If you had been on that boat, would you have begun panicking? Isn't there any safer way that they could have come by land to where they planned on fleeing to? Did they tell you that this was the only way that they could have fled from where they were? What does it appear that they are all standing there for? What is it that they all have over them while just standing there? Did someone give them those as soon as they were able to get out of the water? Does that help them to stay a little warmer since they don't have anything to keep themselves warm? Did the people who helped them to get on the beach give them that to keep them warm? Do most of them keep standing while waiting there on the rocks? Will there be anybody that comes to help them to find a place to stay indoors for the evening? Don't they wish that someone would come soon so that they could get out of the cold weather? They must have just come off a boat that landed near there. They must find it difficult to move since they are so cold. How can you tell that most of the people waiting there are adults? Were you able to find out how long ago they first happened to show up there? Don't you hope that someone comes really soon in order to help them out? Was he worried that he would never be able to find his child? Did you find out how it is that he found out where she was? Didn't he feel really relieved as soon as he found out where she was? Did he tell you that his daughter was too tired to continue walking, so he ended up carrying her back? Did he tell you how long it was that they have been separated? Was he afraid that he might not be able to find her from when she first got separated? Were the people standing in the back some of the people that went out to help him find her? Was there anyone else that he got to help him to try to find her? Do you think that had he been alone that he would have been able to find her? Now that he has her, what is it that he looks forward to doing the most? Is he having trouble trying to stand up since he got so seasick? He must feel totally exhausted. Was he afraid he would never be able to get to where he is as soon as it became dark at sea? Did the person steering the boat just keep going to the lights on shore to make it there safely? Did he tell you how long they were at sea trying to get to where they are now? Does he find it hard to believe that they finally ended up getting there safely? Did he say that there wasn't any other way that they could have gotten there? Did he say that they would have never gotten there if the seas were rougher? How is it that he got so wet? Did you ask him how far he had to swim to get to shore? Have you seen if there is anyone that has come out to help him now that he's on shore? Thank you.